love is in the air with this week's chapter of 7 Deadly Sins. Well, this week, that's not really the case, because we got 2 chapters this week, which is quite the treat. Now, this chapter offered, although I wanted to see the demons, like, I had my laptop ready, I had the tablet, I was like, I'm doing a live reaction to this shit, it's gonna be crazy, but go to the chapter, there's no demons. Bit disappointed. I was a bit disappointed on that, but when I got to the last pages of the chapter, it offered some really nice development between the characters of Elizabeth and Diane, because they realize their one true loves, their OTPs, Elizabeth and Meliodas, and Diane and King. How Elizabeth, like Diane, she basically accepts the fact, and I think it's built up for, God, like, about 100 chapters. Like how, Diane, she sees that Meliodas really isn't interested in her at all, and he's more into Elizabeth, because, he's constantly groping her and doing all this weird shit. So, she's kind of accepted the fact over time that Meliodas doesn't really feel that way towards her. I mean, she fell in love with him because he saw her as a person, not just a giant. Everyone was like, fuck you, giant! Meliodas, he wasn't like that. He was like, you're a giant, so what? Pretty cool. You're a pretty cool gal. I bite her. Have the same wheelchair. Like, yeah. He thought she was fine, just the way she is. And, again, that's the whole reason why she fell in love with him in the first place. But it really can't be. It's not meant to be between them, and it never really was. And she finally sees that within this chapter, and to come to terms with this, she basically just goes out, pops the question, are you in love with Meliodas, to Elizabeth, and she says, yeah, I'd ride that. I'd ride that disco stick. And it really is built up throughout the whole series. It's basically true love at first sight, because, I mean, look, Meliodas, he was constantly helping her. I mean, anyone else would have been like, fuck you, what the fuck are you doing? Back off. But Meliodas, he dropped everything to go help Elizabeth. And that was really cool. Like, I like how this relationship, it didn't come out of nowhere, but it was built up throughout the whole entire series. And that's really good. I think this series at this point handles romance very well compared to other series. Naruto. not to shoot other series, but if you're going to form a relationship between 2 characters, it should be built up and constantly seen throughout the series, instead of just a couple instances that are just sporadic throughout the entire series, and it doesn't really add anything. If it's one-sided, then fuck. Like, if it's one character going like, and you all know what I'm talking about, one character going like, I really like him, but the other character is just indifferent and apathetic towards the other character, but then somehow at the end of the series they kind of just get together, even though I knew what would happen in the first place. But with this, I like how it's built up. It's constantly seen. You pretty much know what's going to happen because they both like each other. From what I can see. Meliodas, I'm pretty sure he does, but who knows, we'll see. But Elizabeth does, and I like how this relationship is built up. As well as Diane and King. Their relationship was as well. Like, you thought she was indifferent towards King in the beginning of the series. All she wanted was Meliodas, but then flashback, she did love King, but her memories were erased. And I guess when King healed her, all those memories came back, and with this, she finally loves King, and, like, it's been built up. It's not like, oh, now she loves King just because she doesn't have Meliodas. No. She's always loved King, but she just forgot about it, and when she took King to the dance, that basically confirms it, like, oh, she wants King. Like, that's not so hard to comprehend. Like, she wanted King. And it's cool to see Diane cry for King. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's gone? How am I gonna tell him? How am I gonna tell him that I love him? Stuff like that. So, I really like how that's been built up. And, again, the romance in the series, I like it. I mean, we have, Bon and Elaine as well. Like, it's good. And I really enjoy the romance in the series. And I'm not, like, a big romance guy. I'm not a big pairings guy. I'm not like, oh yeah, I'd ship that. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm just saying, I like it. I can like romance, but I don't have to be obsessed with it, you know? But I really do like the romance in this series, and I do hope it keeps getting expanded upon and built up. And, yeah. That was basically it. Really enjoyable chapter. I like the character development for Elizabeth and Diane. And, yeah. While we had that was all good. Let's go to the demons. Go on, dude. The demon clan. Alright, see you guys later.